Have you guys seen the cast of Wicked recently? Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, and Michelle Yeoh have all appeared to drop significant amounts of weight. As this trickles down to our For You pages, ladies, we are so in danger, and I mean that so seriously. Let's get into it. Hi guys, my name is Yusra. Welcome back to the channel. They want to keep you thin because they want to keep you weak. And they want to keep you weak because they want to keep you controlled.
Buckle up, I'm gonna be mean. Me calling out somebody who is clinically underweight and malnourished is not me skinny shaming. Saying that we should not be striving to look like that is not me skinny shaming. And me calling out somebody who is intentionally becoming weaker, atrophying the muscle that they work so hard to put on, and being smaller in today's political climate is not me trying to police women's bodies. You can look however you want to look, but making the choice to put it online is not the move.
It really doesn't take a lot of brain cells to figure out that, with the rise of the fake trad wife content that's out there, the panic that they're creating around declining birth rates, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, that all these things are probably connected. If I was trying to radicalize a young girl, I would incite an ED because your capacity of critical thought is kneecapped by starvation, and it would be easy to introduce a racialized aspect to it. Woodrow also points out the rise in the so-called crunchy far right and how strict diets such as all meat, all raw vegan, or anti-seed oils have become ways for members of these communities to show their in-group status and link their beliefs to their diet. They never talk about it overtly as being a restrictive diet, but in some ways similar to orthorexia, which historically we would have more so associated with athletes because these diets are obsessed with food purity, Woodrow says. Kristina Lerman, a professor at the University of Southern California's Information Sciences Institute, was part of a group of researchers who used the 3N model of radicalization: need, narrative, and network, to explain how pro-Ana communities could be described as radicalizing people into extreme disordered eating. The rise in eating disorders, a condition with serious health complications, has been linked to the proliferation of idealized body images on social media platforms. However, the relationship between social media and eating disorders is more complex, with online platforms potentially enabling harmful behaviors by linking people to pro-Ana communities that promote EDs. I mean, the little bit that I do know about Ariana Grande is that she has been dealing with, let's just say, anxiety around her weight for the entirety of her life. And I bring this up now because it is very evident that now more than ever, it's getting to a point where it's very, very concerning.
If you were a preteen or a teen in the 2011 2012 era of Felice Fawn, if you even know the name Felice Fawn, you are also an active witness to Ariana Grande and Bella Hadid's incredibly popular Tumblr blogs dedicated to tracking their weight loss. What are you talking about? Why have I never heard of this? Well, if you've never heard of this, good. But, well, Sam and Cat was still on. Ari was only popular with the preteens that knew and loved her from Victorious. I don't even think she had put out a real record yet. And Bella was kind of just known for being friends with the Jenners. Maybe by this point, Gigi had gotten famous enough that she was known for being Gigi Hadid's sister. I don't think that we'll ever get an admission from either of them that that's what those blogs were. But I know, and a lot of you know.
And I want to just remind everybody about the very, very talented Amy Winehouse that the world lost. And the immediate cause of her death was, of course, alcohol poisoning. But again, let's not forget that around the time of her death, her family actually came out and stated that they believed that her ED, which allegedly she had suffered for years before her death, they believed that that was a significant contributing factor to her death, because essentially just dealing with the ED for years and years and years of her life had made Amy Winehouse's body super weak. And this is the reason that, her body became so much more vulnerable to the effects of alcohol, right? And, sometimes the effects are direct and sometimes they're indirect.
I think we should be talking about celebrities publicly starving themselves. It is bonkers to me. It's insane that this conversation has gotten shut down time and time and time again by people who are saying that it is body shaming or antithetical to feminism to speak about a woman's body ever in any manner under any circumstance. Shut up. When can we talk about it? When they I had Lanago, which is the hair that you develop all over your body when you're starving to death. My kidneys were shutting down. I had trouble lifting my arms over my head, and I could have been her twin. I even had the hair. Well, her old hair, not her new hair. What do you guys gain from avoiding this topic, from insisting that you cannot talk about how influential people influence people? What are you getting out of this?
And I don't know, while I was brainstorming, for this video, it came to my mind, right? Like, imagine as a collective, like womanhood as a collective, how much time we've spent just focusing on this internalized surveillance, if you will, of our own bodies, right? And imagine us not caring about that. Like, imagine if we could be fully free from all the anxieties that, surround meeting the beauty standard that is always on our case, right? Like, how much more time would we have to essentially focus on our priorities or, our habits, so many other things that for us would take preference over this, and such a better use of time, don't you think? Under fascism, it is very well known that women are described as angelic, soft, quiet, fragile, weak, closed up, right? Like, not a woman that's gonna take up space, challenge the norms, challenge authority. And here's the thing, some of you in the comment section are gonna come for me and be like, when are we gonna stop, policing women's bodies? It's always women, policing each other's bodies. Like, when are we going to stand up together as a collective and just let women be and let them choose? And first of all, I want to state that, fascism actually benefits from this. And second, is it really about policing women's bodies when the choice that some of these women are making out there is actually very dangerous to other women out there, especially the young and impressionable ones? Like, it's easy to say that, this one choice that a woman is making for herself is for herself. But, when you have platforms, when you have eyes on you, you have a responsibility on the ripple effects that your choices can have, like I said, on young and impressionable women. And I just have to say, the arguments around choice feminism are really just getting tired, because at the end of the day, if we're not using our critical, thinking skills, our discernment, right? A case by case evaluation with context involved, different tools in the toolbox for different problems that you're trying to solve, okay? Don't get me started. I'm already going through a cold and I do not have time, which I don't know if this is the case for like other people that have very young toddlers. Like, my babies are 15 months old at this point, and I feel like they're getting sick every, freaking 3 weeks or something. And then everybody in the house is sick every 3 weeks. I am tired of being tired and sick. And so I think everybody has sort of talked a little bit about this whole extremely dangerously thin coming back around. But while I was thinking about this, it sort of led me into the whole thought process of how, the political environment essentially that we're in today, and groceries are becoming more and more expensive. And, the affordability crisis is getting worse each and every day, right? Like, those are all things that we know and are well aware of. And at the same time, dangerously thin is headed its way back. And Ozempic has now been more accessible than ever before. Like, do you guys get what I'm trying to say here? I feel like this is all very interconnected. Like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And in the same breath, okay, the likes of Erewhon and Meadow Lane are now opening up in New York City. And you guessed it, you know what they're trying to sell. It's all a marketing ploy, surrounding this fantasy, if you will, around bodily purity.
It was really nice in there. I mean, the food is super expensive, so we haven't tried it, but we'll see.
Meadow Lane, the newest luxury grocery store in New York City's Tribeca, offers your everyday grocery items, prepared foods to more bougie options, including $750 caviar and $75 matcha powder.
I don't think anywhere needs a luxury grocery store, but do they want it?
There are a few complaints, from rodent sightings during construction to turkey chili missing food allergy labels.
And I look inside, that's totally cheese. And they didn't label it.
There's been a couple, mistakes on our part that we took accountability for and corrected very fast.
Other comments question the timing of the store opening amid a food insecurity crisis across the country.
And then I got my matcha, I got a cinnamon swirl muffin, the nuggets, the tenders, and then the Chinese chicken chop. It's like gourmet, so I'm not expecting it to be cheap.
Despite all the controversies, New Yorkers are still hyped to shop there.
I heard about it, so I thought it would be interesting to try, but I'm not quite sure if it equates to how much it was.
Like, I'm sure you already are well aware of Erewhon, but Meadow Lane is essentially this new boutique grocery store, if you will, like a luxury grocery shopping experience in New York City. Founded by the billionaire Sammy Nussdorf, it seems like Meadow Lane is just another spot, another location for the rich, the very privileged to come back around, the influencers, if you will, to come around, shop and then show off how clean and pure and anti-inflammatory and detoxifying the meal that they bought here actually is. And we have very much talked about thinness as a beauty standard, how it awards you pretty privilege, how society treats you better. These are discussions that I've had on my channel a while ago. But I feel like these same themes are being highlighted over and over again. It's just the angle is different. It's literally overlapping so much. Because I don't know whether it's Ariana Grande looking more and more frail, more and more thin, more and more weak over time, right? Or it's the fact that, these Erewhon smoothies are literally $20 and it looks like, adult baby food, if you will, if not worse. I think the messaging is clear. The aesthetic has to be one where you're maintaining strict hierarchies and bodily obedience. Now, Meadow Lane actually appeared on my For You page because apparently they sell luxury groceries and then they also sell some prepared meals. And apparently some people actually went to that store and bought chicken nuggets. And when they started eating the chicken nuggets, they realized that, they were very much raw at the center. And allegedly, some people saw some kind of rodent running around in that store. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is not seeming like a luxury experience if you have rats running around all over the place. Very New York City, though. Mr. Nussdorf said the footage of the rodent was from months ago when the space was still under construction. Other observers highlighted food insecurity in New York and commented on Mr. Nussdorf's reported family wealth. One viral video, which has racked up more than 700,000 views, encouraged Meadow Lane shoppers to donate to food banks. The store opens as many in the state confront an affordability crisis, and nearly 3 million people face potentially reduced or canceled SNAP benefits. And I don't want to get sidetracked here, but I wanted to tell you guys something. So it was not that long ago that on my For You page, I actually saw a couple of people that were complaining about the fact that there was this mother who had used a part of her food stamps allowance, I think it was like $30, that she had spent because it was her son's birthday and that boy actually wanted cupcakes for his birthday. So she actually went and spent $30 to get cupcakes for her son's birthday.
That mom that used her EBT to spend $27 worth on cupcakes so her son can take them to his ABA therapy session for his birthday. This is why I don't feel bad about EBT being cut off in the month of November. You don't spend it right.
Honestly, I don't know what to say. I watched that video through and through multiple times, just trying to find the humanity in all of it. And I just couldn't. I just could not find the humanity in any of it. The empathy, where is it? I mean, it's his birthday. They bought cupcakes for his birthday. And the crazy part about it is he didn't buy the cupcakes just for himself. He brought it so he can take it to his friends and they can celebrate and eat cupcakes with him.
And I just have to say, I very much think that those people complaining are likely the target audience for Meadow Lane. Maybe, allegedly, just saying. The Rush suggests a city approaching peak status grocery, wherein a certain class of shopper uses supermarket provisions to signal wealth, cultural stature, or a wellness-centered lifestyle, depending on who you ask. And some shoppers said gourmet grocers that market their offerings as nutritious alternatives to junk or prepared foods, however ambiguously, suggest health priorities. It's about wellness and how you treat your body, said Miss Morrison, 25. Now, Miss Morrison, is that really what this is? Or is this just another way for the elites to flaunt their wealth, flaunt their status, and create the next aesthetic bubble, if you will? And why is it that when it's a person of color that carries a little bit of excess weight, that they're considered irresponsible or not educated enough or lazy or worse, that they can't control themselves, right? But when now Hollywood is coming around and promoting the next dangerously unrealistic beauty standard, That's aesthetic. And shopping at Meadow Lane is aesthetic, right? And bodily purity is aesthetic. And weak and frail and thin is aesthetic. Like, you guys are connecting the dots, right? And I want to pivot just a little bit because I wanted to talk to you guys about this, and I don't know when else I'm gonna be able to connect this, but for me, in my mind, like all of these things kind of connect. And so, like a few weeks ago, I saw this documentary on Netflix. It's called The Billionaire, the Butler, and the Boyfriend. And it's not even a new documentary. It was released in 2023, I think. And I don't know, I just came across it because apparently Netflix thought that I would like it, and I very much did. But essentially, it's the story of the L'Oreal heiress, okay? And essentially how she was worth $30 billion. And in her old age, apparently she was like really lonely and didn't really have too many hobbies. So it talks about how, you know, there were people that she was surrounded with and they were trying to take advantage of her and her money and yada yada yada. There's like a whole bunch. It's a really good documentary. And at the end, actually, yeah, this is worth mentioning. At the end, apparently when she got old, her daughter actually placed her into legal guardianship because, you know, her mom was essentially, in the daughter's mind, was like really throwing away her money, like just carelessly, if you will. And so the daughter then took over the money, and then that daughter is, in today's world, or she's alive, you know, she's worth $88 billion. And I highly recommend you guys watch this because it was really interesting and just crazy to watch, right? But what I wanted to tell you guys was that I watched this at night and I absorbed it and I enjoyed it, right? And then I don't know what it was, but like the next morning when I woke up, I had this weird like feeling in my gut. I felt kind of sick to my stomach, and I just was like, people have that much money? Like they have that much money where they could just randomly give you a gift of a $12 million painting. Like it's nothing. It's just like a Saturday. Here, oh, you like it? Here, take it. You know, let me buy it for you. I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, I just was like, there is so much inequality. Like, why does this one person have so much? And here, you know, in 2018, 2019, I bought this like luxury bag that was like, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like I made it in life. Like I was cosplaying rich in my mind, but like so embarrassing if you actually think about how much money people have. And quite honestly, I'm doing okay. Like I'm doing good in my life and I'm very comfortable, but we are poor when you compare to the scales of money that people out there, guys. It is just crazy. But here is how this ties back into our conversation today, okay? I think the thing to note is that the billionaires, the people at the top, the fascists, whatever, they all have this one thing in common, which is the fact that they want to keep control. And they can stay in power if they can control the people that surround them. And again, I don't think it's that far of a stretch, right, to say that, you know, what Hollywood is trying to promote is getting trickled down. And it is like so ironic, right? The irony, okay? Because they will sell us over consumption like crazy. Buy this, buy that. You need this, you need that. Quiet luxury, blah, 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 whatever, okay? But when it comes to our body, like keep that cognitive ability low, on the down low, okay? Double digit IQ, that's where you want to be. And keep that wallet spending. Don't question it. Don't let that brain or logic come in to question it, you know? And who exactly does that benefit? As you guys can tell, I have been thinking about this one quite a bit because it bothers me a lot, okay? I've never been, you know, the beauty standard, but I'm also like, I've been comfortable for many years in my life and uncomfortable for some years of my life, right? Whatever. There was always this number on the scale that was my target weight. And especially after giving birth last year, there's all this extra pregnancy weight and my body just looks very different. Like I can tell you very much that it's been a journey and my mindset is shifting for sure. Like I think for the longest time ever, it was about feeling comfortable in my body and like this target weight that I had in my mind where I felt like, you know, I looked good to myself and I had a good self-esteem. And mind you, that was never skinny, okay? It was just where I felt super comfortable, right? And I feel like that's important to state, right? But let me tell you something. My mindset for 2026, it's very simple, okay? My goal for 2026 is to build muscle. 2026, please hold me accountable, okay, if you see otherwise, right? But 2026 is the year of the muscle for me. If they want me weak, let me tell you one thing. I will be going in the exact opposite direction. Body recomposition, here I come, okay? Because the best way to resist is to start with yourself. I want to be strong, okay? I want to build that muscle because I want to have longevity. You know what I mean? Like, I want the quality of my life to be very, very good for a long period of time. And you know what? I want to eat. I really enjoy food and I want to eat, okay? And so I encourage all the ladies that, watch my channel, eat, build muscle, and reject this emaciation, dangerously thin, crazy epidemic that's out there, because maybe for a lot of the women out there, it's a choice, but it may start off as a choice, but it might develop into a place of darkness, where it's not really a choice for them anymore. Like, it could be a very, very slippery slope down, and you really just don't want to be there. So, if you take away anything from this discussion today, it's to reject the dangerously thin, reject the emaciation, reject the starvation epidemic, okay? Because, we cannot fight them if our brain cells are barely functioning, and we certainly can't fight them if we're complying with them and being a part of our own starvation. All right, you guys, that's all from me today. I hope you guys like this video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.